It's now 1:18 a.m. in the morning. It's getting even colder. So I got to pee so bad. Damn, it's so evil that people are sadistic enough to force somebody to suffer like this. And then you get told that nobody has to help you. You know, you don't have to ruin you when it's really you don't have to destroy people. So I think I did forget to mention a few things. I forgot to mention that well that officer from the campus that he told me, you know, when I asked him was I banned from the whole campus, and then he said yeah. So like the last time they had me just banned from the library, you know, and now he said that I'm banned from the whole campus. And then he said, well, unless you got business to handle or whatever, then you can come on the campus. But then, he switched his story to say, each time I asked him, he had like a different response. But the final response was that, excuse me, the final response was that, I can't come on the campus unless I have to have their approval first, and then only come on campus while doing some important business or whatever. And I feel like, I feel betrayed or let down. Like I graduated from this college and get treated like I have less rights, you know, than the general public, you know, because it's not a private university, it's a public university. Excuse me. But, people who never were enrolled or never attended, they can come to the campus and, you know, go and eat in the cafeteria. I've even seen a few other homeless people. I figure they must have been perps. How did they find me? I didn't publicize or tell anybody, they came in the cafeteria and ate, on different occasions. But nobody stopped them, you know. But, people who never were students or never were alumni or never graduated, dang, they got more rights than I do. But if it weren't for the forced homelessness and targeting, excuse me, I would not have any need to. If I had a place to live, I would not have needed to, you know, use that place as a safe space, for survival. I was able to go like maybe 12 whole hours with no gang stalking, and I was able to get peace and quiet. And I didn't bother anybody, or I didn't, you know, excuse me, all I did was, sit in the classroom and charge my phone, try to go to sleep, and use the bathroom when I needed to. The same thing like with the airport, you know. But, so yeah, just for 1 year, I have to if I needed something, I have to call them first. I mean, and let them know that I'm coming in order to get business handled, and then, excuse me, but I was given like misinformation from someone. So if it weren't for that, then I would not have gone back into the classroom. But I do not know how I would have handled being out in the open with nowhere to go and getting rained on or suffering out in the cold. You know, and then I'm pretty sure there was some other stuff I needed to say that I kind of don't remember, or my mind went blank. But I'm sleep deprived and tired, and you know, so this is the only. So I guess, I don't even know if I would. I won't take the chance at trying to go by the lakefront because I got to cross through the campus to get to the lakefront. So to stay on the safe side, I won't go over there, you know. And that officer that I said was kind of mean at first, I guess once we got into the lounge area, he softened up and was nicer, you know. But I don't know if he was intentionally trying to. It seemed like as if he was kind of frustrated and annoyed, and you know, he seemed like he was frustrated and annoyed. But he wasn't the worst. You know, he didn't have like the worst attitude, but he did have kind of an attitude at first. You know, but I couldn't tell them that I'm forced homeless and blacklisted and suffering gang stalking, and this is why I have nowhere to go. But I did tell him about. I did tell the officers about, my family being abusive and not wanting me around, and that I told them about the shelters and stuff like that, my issues with the shelters and stuff. So, I mean, people say the streets is no place for a woman. And at the same time, they talk about a lot of people say that the shelters is more dangerous than the streets. Excuse me. You know, and I really think that they're lying. The city is lying about helping homeless get housing. But people won't tell me directly where to go, where they're saying homeless people are getting this housing assistance or these funds. They won't even tell me what organization is helping get homeless people off the streets. And that fake Kanitha Grooms Williams lady from the Rebuild Center, she tried to make it like as if there's no room for me here in New Orleans, and that for me to come down here and try to get homeless services, that it's unfair to the homeless people who were here before you. Homeless people who were here before me, But I wouldn't be in this predicament if it weren't for the gang stalking. And if it weren't for the gang stalking, you know, I could have been successful in a career or, a salary paid job with my college degree. But they said that, suffering what people call Christian persecution with the gang stalking, they said, well, you will be in like an extreme poverty and suffering so bad. And then, we get encouraged that we have to endure to the end. Meaning that, like if the perp's trying to get you to commit suicide or whatever, and the Bible says endure to the end so we'll be saved. But I know we got to quit sinning and stuff. It's and I feel like it's so hard, but I'm trying, you know. But the Kenitha Grooms Williams lady, she also, she tried to make it like there's no room for housing here or that there's a housing struggle here. But then she tried to lie to me and say that there's shelter space. Well, how you saying they have all this shelter space, but then no housing? But, it's like, it's weird for me to come back in my hometown after 5 years and then be treated like as if I never was a native from here. And me being born and raised, you know. And that's like with the fake IDMR cult. If I had been a lifelong member for a long time, and then because I hadn't been able to go for a few years because of me living in Denton, Texas, where they didn't have this fake services or whatever for the cult, and my twin sister forced me against my will, to go back into the cult. And I went to the Los Angeles branch, and they were in the area where the buses don't run, where I took the Route 92 bus to go to on Riverside Drive in Los Angeles. I think it was the Glendale area. And then the fake IDMR cult, they try to, it was humiliating and degrading that they treated me like a first time guest all over again. When I had been a pretty much lifelong member. And I didn't have a car to get to Mesquite, Texas or whatever, where the cult was. When I was living in Denton, Texas, I didn't have a car to get to Mesquite. And they didn't have buses that go to Mesquite, Texas, I don't think. And so, yeah, the fake IDMR cult, it seemed like it's for the Masonic rich folks living the high life. So, and fake fraudster Harris, I saw him in the first, I saw him, that only time in person. And it was hard to listen to him, And then, he was so arrogant and full of himself, And then, like the fake IDMR cult, they do like school teachers won't let kids use the bathroom when they need to. Even in the New Orleans branch on Morrison Road, I don't know where they at now. With the fake IDMR cult, if you needed to use on the West Bank, they kind of let you use the bathroom, but on the East Bank they didn't. Well, the foster mom on the West Bank would not let us use the bathroom. And then we weren't allowed to go use the bathroom until we had extreme urgency to go. And she would get mad and want to punish us and stuff. And she used to physically abuse and beat on us in front of everybody. At the fake IDMR cult, we could be like 7 years old, and if we sneeze, she'll slap the shit out of you. Or she would like pull you by your ear or press you on your pressure points behind your neck and, you know, drag drag you by your ears and stuff in front of everybody. And they would laugh, and feel like we deserve it. I mean, you bust my lip for sneezing. I mean, I'm using that for an example, you know. And then every time we were sick, she falsely accused us of faking and over exaggerating for attention. You know. So yeah, in California and you know, in California and in New Orleans, East Bank, they never let you use the ushers of the cult never let you use the bathroom. And then they try to make like they wanted to start to force people to wear nothing but business attire. Now, like, look at my circumstance. I'm homeless. I don't have much of nothing. The cult never did shit for me. If I still believed in the fake IDMR cult, they wouldn't do shit to help me out of my homeless situation. They wouldn't help. They wouldn't pull string because the foster mom smear campaign and made everybody hate us. Me and my twin sister, And I feel like, as I said, what's the point of being part of a religion where nobody likes you or where everybody hates you? You know. So, excuse me. And, I wouldn't go, I wouldn't even want to try to, no matter how desperate I am, you know, drunk Lady Yvonne ain't got to worry about me for the rest of her life anymore. You know, I won't go by her house again, ever. Excuse me. And I won't I'm not gonna make the mistake and go in those classrooms again on UNO's campus. As I said, I was given, mistaken information or misinformation by somebody. And then, and I forgot to say, I thought I mentioned that, but I forgot to mention that in the videos from the other night. Oh, give me. And then I'm never going by the abusive fake foster families houses. I'm not going by them anymore. You know, the foster sister Shelley would act like, with the same kind of ignorance that y'all saw with Yvonne, you know. But Shelley's supposed to be seen in society as mentally normal, you know. And as I said, anybody from my past, from foster family, biological family, the Kraft family members, anybody we went to school with, or the fake IDMR cult members, if I had to stay with any of them, or if any of them would have let me stay by them, I would have to be subjected to abuse. You know. I mean, even if I mean, so I have no choice but to, you know, in my circumstances, I'm trying as best as I could with, you know, trying to survive, based on things that I've experienced and dealing with the targeting, you know. So I'm scared to fall asleep, but I have like a couple of possible interviews. You know, I was looking for jobs and calling up places yesterday, you know, and the other day, I guess I was so desperate that I applied. Oh, was it? Yeah, I applied for. Um, oh, excuse me. Oh. Out of desperation, I even applied for a few jobs out of state, and I felt like, well, I didn't want to go out of state, but I felt extremely homesick. Coming back home to New Orleans. And it seems like due to the narcissistic abuse and the gang stalking and the homeless discrimination and everything, um, it seemed like they try to coercively manipulate for me to end up hating it here. Like, I love the city of Pensacola, but the gang stalking network forced me to hate the city because of, being forced to hate what I once loved because of, the people. Like, I love the city of Los Angeles, but it's the people make me not like it, you know. So only somebody with a narcissistic personality would treat you like they think that they have the authority to dictate that you're not allowed to be in a certain city, especially if you were born and raised here. And even people younger than me treat me like I don't have a right to be here in New Orleans. I mean, even in 2010 and 2011, family or not, everybody wanted to keep me away from New Orleans. And nobody, even in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, nobody wanted me in New Orleans, you know. But if I leave and come back, people have become more and more vicious and mean and cruel. Like, I don't even know if it's because of my targeting. You know, people here in New Orleans are not nice. They're meaner than people in Pensacola. They're meaner than people in Pensacola. And the people in Cincinnati aren't really nice. They're not really friendly. You know, people online on social media are not nice. It's very hard to find somebody. And then, you'd be mind boggled in real life that somebody can walk right out of church, or somebody on social media can be just finished posting the Bible scripture and then turn around and be brutal and cruel. You know, they even have certain people who profess to be Christian and targeted, and they blocked me and I never did them anything. And it's mind boggling. You know, so I wish I could remember certain other things that I forgot to say that I needed to say, but it's starting to get colder in my right hand that I'm holding my phone. It's starting to get more cold. So I forgot. I mean, I'm rambling on, but I had forgot, to say what I said in the beginning of the video. I wasn't trying to get in any trouble or wasn't trying to break the law. But see, dealing with the gang stalking and being targeted, it seems like, you put in a corner when you're left with no other option to do X, Y, Z. And people want to tell me move out of state or relocate somewhere else just to be homeless in that city too. I mean, it's not like I can move to a different city or state and relocate and then boom, I got a job. Nah. So I'm gonna tell TMI. I mean, for me to be out here in the cold with nowhere to go, no place to take a shower unless I had a hotel room, you know, I have to. I mean, my menstruation came like January 2nd, the day I got into, like right after I got into that hotel, that's when it came. And then, it really sucks to have to be out on the streets with these light colored gray pants. And, I mean, my cycle or whatever, seeing like it could come any day soon. You know, sorry for TMI, but I'm letting y'all know how the perps are forcing me to suffer as a homeless TI. So, I mean, my anxiety is extremely high, you know. So I'm going to go for now.